Hi there, I'm Leif Gregerson, and I'm the author of a couple of books. I wrote a book called Through the Withering Storm, which is a memoir of my own experiences growing up with bipolar disorder. I've also written quite a number of magazine articles, short stories, poems. You can find me at Valhalla Books on Facebook, and that's where I post a lot of my poems. I try to write about one a day and get it in. I have some people who enjoy reading my poems every day, and some people who don't. And you can get in there, join the fun, read the poems, offer one of your own, whatever you like. Valhalla Books is put in just after our. You can get to Valhalla Books as well as my page Through the Withering Storm through my own name, Leif Gregerson, on Facebook. Give me a like, give me a friend request. I'll let you in and you can check everything out and hopefully interact with me. I'm making this video today because I wanted to talk a little bit about mental illness and my real goal. When I was about 14 years old, I was sent to a hospital because I had some pretty erratic behavior. Some of my behavior was some of my behavior was along the lines of borderline personality disorder, which got worse over time, actually. But I believe what they were really trying to treat was the bipolar disorder, where I would go up and down. Bipolar disorder is a very sneaky disease because you can have a lot of energy and you can sit there and you can just be bouncing off the walls. I remember coming home, my parents wouldn't be home, they'd be working, and I'd make a cup of tea and then I'd dance and sing in the living room and use the furniture as props in my little burlesque show or whatever you want to call it, and I would just feel so energized and so ready to do anything. And fortunately, my parents didn't put me on medication that I had to take. They sent me out to a lot of activities. I was heavily involved in Air Cadets at one point. Before that, I played soccer, Boy Scouts. Before that, different things like that. Where I went out and run around until I was ready to pass out. Soccer was probably the best experience of my life. Had a great team. I advanced from defenseman all the way at the end. By the end of the season, I was playing center forward, and it was just great. We won St. Albert, which is my hometown. We beat everybody in our age category except, of course, the rep team, who had been handpicked. Aside from that, I went on into cadets, and I remember cadets was on Mondays and Thursdays, and Thursdays after cadets we would all go to McDonald's and sit there and chew on burgers, and I would personally I would drink tea, and it would keep me up. And I started getting into the habit of watching a lot of late night TV, and I would sit there and do my exercises. I had this sort of ninja exercises I found in the book, and I just had so much energy. And as time passed, different things happened. There were a lot of warning signs, red flags, if you want to call them. As time passed, I got a car when I was 16, and I would drive like a crazy maniac half the time. And you know, that's one of the symptoms of borderline personality disorder. Uh, Driving like a maniac and doing different things like that, harming yourself, doing dangerous things. I was doing those. The driving like a maniac, I don't know if it had more to do with the group I was in, the people I hung around with, or if it was more just me being crazy, really. But I do know that as I look back now, there's a lot of things wrong with me. I was doing fairly well in school, though. I was managing to keep my life in order. And then I turned 17 and I finished up high school. And then the summer came and I bought this real fancy car. I bought my own graduation present. It was a beautiful car. It was a 1978 Cobra Mustang. And I just loved ripping around the streets in this thing and spinning the tires and come wailing around corners, everything. And it was a great car, and my friends loved it, whatever else. Got a lot of attention from girls. Never got never went on many dates or anything, but I got a lot of attention. And anyhow, so as time passed, I went back to school, and I tried to sort of push away from a lot of the behaviors that I was doing. I was smoking, and that could be another thing of self-harm. Smoking quite heavily, and then towards the second semester of school, I managed to quit, and I started running, and I had a great job. I was working in a grocery store, and so everything seemed to be good. But then at some point, like I can look back now, but back then I didn't know anything about what was happening. It just really, at some point, my logic just took flight off for another planet. And I started doing crazy things. Um, I think I held it in until it got really severe. Like I can remember days, of course, when I was working at the gas station in the summer and the fall, and I would be driving home and I would just be in the deepest, darkest pit of depression imaginable. And I would go home just so black, and the only thing I could do was just watch TV until I was tired enough to go to bed. And I remember getting very little sleep at times that year. But it boiled up. Logic took flight, and in the next spring, my condition got so serious. I remember one day this friend of mine, he just came to pick me up, and he was really down. He had just broken up with his girlfriend, and I didn't. I had this whole upside down view of the world, and I had this impression that he was some kind of a bad guy, and he had done the wrong thing or whatever. And I started talking nonsense, and he didn't know what the hell was going on. And he ended up taking me to the hospital, and I was given a shot of something to calm me down. And then the police came and took me to a mental hospital, which was not very fun. As I look back now, of course, before that happened, something else had gone on. I had a friend of mine had gone downtown, and we're supposed to do something together, and I was acting completely irrationally. I ended up walking like, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 miles to my sister's place, and my sister's boyfriend stopped me at the door, and he assaulted me, and I took off my clothes and was yelling and screaming in the hallway, and he ended up calling the police. Not much else he could do. I don't blame him, although there are other things he did that I can blame him for, the way he treated my sister in later years. But that's another video entirely. Um, that first time I ended up in the university hospital, and they wanted to put me through a program, and this and that, and I wanted to go back to school. I thought I was fine. And I went back to school against their wishes, the staff there, and pretty soon I was in the full-fledged mental hospital, which was not a fun place to be. I was put in a locked ward, and it it was a long hallway with small rooms on either side, and dorm rooms to live in, and other people would be throwing up or masturbating or yelling at shadows or God knows what. And there was this small smoking room where everything was just coated in a brown grease from cigarettes. And of course, I had started smoking again by that time. And well, it was a very hard few months for me. But I got out, and I went on and pressed forward, and tried to live my life, and there was no way I could. I kept ending up back in hospitals until finally I started to get a good doctor, good treatment, and all that stuff. And well, at the moment I've been 12 years free of admission, which is just great. Or 11 or 12. My last admission ended the same month as the September 11 attacks, the 9/11 attacks. I'm going to have to cut this short, but I'll make other videos. I just wanted to say, if you want to read more, if you want to learn more, go to my website, valhallabooks.com. I'll try to post that on video here. And I also have books for sale on Amazon, Through the Withering Storm, Green Mountain Road, and Selected Stories, if you look those up. And send me a comment if you can get on my Facebook page. It's Leif Gregerson. Thank you very much.